tough way to go out for these guys, because thought we just had such a really good year. It was really fun. That's one of the most fun teams that I've ever been a part of. One of the most unselfish teams that I've ever been a part of. These two guys, there was a lot of people that didn't believe in these guys, how good they could be. I know we did. And I think Jalen Hinton's one of the best college basketball players in the country, and Ryan Burkhart's one of the best shooters in the country. And I wouldn't trade them for anything. And I just thank them for believing in us to come here for their last year and try to fight for a championship. But hats off to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I thought their coaching staff did a heck of a job. I thought defensively they were really good. And that's a good basketball team. They were the better team tonight.
Question for both players. What was the struggles? What would you attribute the struggles shooting in the second half to? Was it just a combination of their defense and just good looks that just didn't fall in?
I don't think every night is going to be as perfect offensively as you want it to be. It was great defense. I'll credit them a little bit, but it wasn't our night offensively in the second half. So it is what it is.
Yeah, credit to them. They made sure they were contesting every shot of ours. Didn't really get too many clean looks, open looks. But we made those shots all year. We've shown it night in and night out. Just happened to not go in for us tonight.
As the game went on and the shots, weren't falling, did you guys feel a sense of having to press and having to take shots that you normally wouldn't take?
Just a sense of urgency. Everything is at stake. Everything is on the line. So pressing was just sort of like to try and get us an advantage and try to get more possessions and speed them up. And it didn't really work out well, but I only could tip my hat off to them.
Jalen, you'll finish with 6 blocks on the night, 7 rebounds. You made the all-tournament team. Can you just talk about the fact of how they were able to contain, particularly in the inside on the offensive end?
I think that we had trouble driving the lane, and sort of the dump off passes that we usually get weren't there. They collapsed very hard on drives, so it was tough to get it going offensively.
Now, how frustrating how frustrating must it have felt for you guys, because it seemed like every time you guys were able to get on a run, their defense would find a way to make a stop.
Yeah, they credit their defense, and then at the same time, they had guys that. Some guys that had some career nights from behind the line that just stepped up when they needed them to. Every time we felt like we made a push, they had guys step up and hit a three or a tough jumper that was a little bit uncharacteristic. But, it's a championship game, and those guys stepped up and made some tough shots.
You talk about the early momentum. You guys gave them 4 points, and then you hit off a 13-4 run. What was it early on that allowed the offense to click at that point?
We just got stops. I think we started the game after they went on that 4-0 run. I think we got 5 or 6 stops straight, and 4 of them were live ball turnovers, and we were able to get out and transition and run. And we knew this wasn't a game that you're going to be able to run a bunch of offensive sets because they really pressure and get in passing lanes. We were going to be able to hopefully get out and transition and set some high ball screens and just get some movement. But I thought early on getting some deflections and steals and getting out to run helped us out.
Coach, when you look back at the season and you look at these 2 young men to your left and right, how do you feel knowing the foundation that these guys have left for you going into the future of the Southeastern program?
We just talked about that. Keon, Ryan, and Jalen don't get an extra year. A couple of guys will have a choice on whether or not they want to play their next year, COVID year, but these guys, they're done. And I just thank them so much because, again, we won 16 games in 2 years combined here. We won 8 games last year, and we're calling these guys, telling them, we're going to win a championship. We're going to compete for championships next year. And for them to believe that and believe in what we talked about, that's big. And I just told them they laid the foundation. We want to be competing for championships every year that we're here. And those guys got the ball rolling.
gentlemen, talk about the ability to put a foundation on this program. Like Coach said, you guys won 16 games the first 2 years, and then you get within a half of winning a championship.
I mean, I feel like it's just having faith in something greater than yourself. We saw the program, we saw the coaches, the players, with everything it had to offer, and we believed in that. So that's why we just took that leap of faith and came. And I'm appreciative of the experience that has been sort of playing at Southeastern.
Yeah, I mean, just in the recruiting process, just talking to the coaches and all the pieces they have here, and then bringing in some of the transfers like myself and Jalen, Roscoe. We thought, okay, we're putting puzzle pieces together, and this is going to paint a pretty picture. And it did. Just happened to fall a little bit short tonight, but yeah, credit to the coach staff for putting that together and then quickly turning this thing around and competing for a championship.
As last question, one for me, Coach. 3 years ago when you first took the job, you had a vision, on what it was going to take to be successful in the league and compete for a championship. Year one, you kind of build on the foundation. Year two, you got a little bit more physical now. Year three, you got the shooters and the finishers at the rim, these two gentlemen up here, and you got a little bit more physical. I mean, while the results not what you were looking for tonight, I mean, is there any solace knowing that, okay, you've kind of gotten to that point now that you know what it takes to win this league, and it's a matter of getting.
Yeah, I think our culture's set. These guys care about everything. We talk about our culture being a caring culture, and caring can mean a lot of things. If you care, you're going to be A class. You're going to make good grades. These guys are both 3.5 students getting their masters. We had the highest team GPA in school history for the first semester. They do everything that's asked of them. They look out for each other. They're a close-knit group. They care for each other. They care about each other. They care to do the right things and be the best versions of themselves. It's not always about, it sucks sitting up here and losing a game, but it's not always about that. All those guys are better people than they were when they got here, every one of them. And as down as I am right now, I'm very proud of those guys for being the people that they are. Thank you.